Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I'm glad to see everyone. It is summer in Buffalo. A lot of good things that are happening here in Buffalo. We are, my office, City of Buffalo, and the mayor's office, geared up for National Night Out. For those who don't know about National Night Out, I'm going to speak about it. And when Debbie, who is the president of the Board of Block Clubs, she's going to speak about it. But it is really a great opportunity where residents and citizens and block clubs come together and team up and partner with various aspects of law enforcement. In Buffalo, we do it well. It is a national thing where many cities have participated in national night out activities. And so the idea here is, we should do this all the time, but specifically one day to create some awareness is to flip your light porch on and keep it on up until about 10 p.m. All right. And so really to get a chance to know your neighbor, community police officers, various folks from the city of Buffalo is going to come in. And from our office, teaming up with Pura, we've gotten a lot of goodies for folks. We have banners, we have all types of child fingerprint, and we have all types of goodies that people who have registered with citizen services and the board of block clubs, we have your list. And so we've been talking with people, and actually we've been delivering, or they've been coming to get it. And so we're excited about National Night Out. What I'm going to encourage you guys to do and tell folks to do, whether you're a block club or not, is to leave your porch light on. And so we're in this national competition. They're going to take an aerial picture of each of the cities who are participating in National Night Out activities, right? And they're going to see which city is lit up the most. And so we want Buffalo to come in, obviously, number one. But that's just indicative of the fact that we're going to be communicating. Now, some people in some block clubs are taking it to a whole nother level. Some are having block parties. They're shutting down streets. They're teaming up with community centers and churches. And so we're just excited about all of the activity that's happening. Mayors and various city hall teams are going to get around and visit. I know my good friend Mike Finn has done that in the past. And so we're going to try to visit different community groups and block clubs out there. So that's National Night Out. Very, very excited about that. Also, at the end of this week, it's the Department of Senior Services and Mayor Brown does a senior, there used to be a pig roast. It's a senior cookout. It's $5. You have to get in contact the Division of Senior Services. You can't just come there and pay it. You got to pre-register. That is a huge hit. I have volunteered and been out there. Oh my God, it's just a lot of great folks, and it's going to happen at LaSalle Park. And so we're excited about that in terms of that. The last thing I want to probably make an announcement to, probably within this next week, we are going to make our announcements for the Love Your Block awardees. Many of you have applied for Love Your Block grantees. It's 1,500 or less that we give to community groups and block clubs to do not just beautification, do a whole host of different things, teaming up with residents in your community. And so we're going to be making that announcement. We want to say thank you to community members who graded it, and really participated in that. And so again, we're excited about the Love Your Block aspect of what we're doing. It's just a great, great initiative in terms of doing that too. So you know what? I'm going to turn this over. We're recording this. We're going to play this back up on our Facebook. And I just wanted to kind of give some acknowledgments in terms of what we're doing and where we're going at. The mayor continues to, really nationally, whether it's in D.C., Washington, D.C., or New York, really speak about gun legislation and really, sensible gun laws, but also making sure that cities have resources, dealing with the challenges or the tragedies that happen with gun violence. And so excited about that. City department heads are all working on policy type of issues in regards to that. We're listening to community people. People are soliciting, giving us idea. I want to say thank you, Mayor, and really taking, and putting this on a national spotlight in terms of, no city should ever have to go through Buffalo, or Uvalde, or any of these other cities are doing. It takes not only legislation, it takes education. This takes, a degree of this, an awareness in terms of, what can we do that is sensible and smart. in terms of this understanding this thing that that this country has been dealing with in terms of gun violence. It's a myriad of different things, and so I know the mayor has been on the forefront regarding that too. So I'm going to turn this over to Nicole. Nicole's going to go through some very quick announcements. There's a lot of things that are happening. Nicole, I forgot to even say reading rules. If you have a child, Mayor Brown has done this reading rules programs since he was a state senator, right? And he has continued this as a mayor. And Nicole will give you some announcements. You have a young person, this really speaks to literacy, and working with various community groups and even businesses to promote reading rules in terms of young people that's picking up a book over the summer and reading. Nicole, why don't you go through with our announcements?
Thank you, Oz. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. You guys let me know when you can see it, and I apologize for the background noise. I'm in a different location today. Okay, perfect. So quickly, of course, we have our Stand Up Buffalo for eviction prevention. So if you or know anybody that is at risk of eviction due to inability to pay rent, there is still assistance. You can call 211 to learn more about the qualifications that must be met, or visit standupbuffalo.com. There is also the Buffalo Police Department Behavioral Health Team. So they work in collaboration with Endeavor Health Services to provide on-site screening, assessment, and de-escalation. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis or there's an imminent concern, you can call 911 and you would request the behavioral health team or the crisis intervention team. And you can find out more about this team by calling the number listed on screen Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you do want to volunteer, you can join the Good Neighbors Network. We are looking for volunteers. For more information on this, you can contact the Save Our Streets coordinator, Mr. Michael Smith, via email, phone, or you can call 311 as well. And his information will be put in the chat box. We are also accepting applications for AmeriCorps Vistas. There are some eligibility requirements that do need to be met, and there are various benefits, though, from joining this program, and it is a one-year commitment to serving the community. You can find out more about this by contacting Ms. Malika D. Lee at the email listed on screen or at her phone number as well. She is our external affairs coordinator, and her information will be put in the chat box as well. So coming up, there's also the Jefferson Avenue streetscape. We're looking for feedback about improvements. There are 2 public input workshops that will be happening in August with various dates and locations listed on the screen. There are synopsis about the project areas and what type of input they're looking for as well. You can find this flyer on our city website as well. There are other opportunities to participate in this by giving your feedback online. There is also a next round of free lifeguard certification and training classes. For this information, you can visit buffalopal.com. You can get certified in 4 classes, which is a short 2-weekend course. And there are a few eligibility requirements, with the main being you can already swim with proficiency is the main requirement. And you can find this again at buffalopal.com. As Oswaldo mentioned, we are hosting National Night Out Block Party this Tuesday, August 2nd. So if your block club has not registered, call 311 to register. And we are very excited for how this is going to turn out. And of course, you participate in contests, meet your community police officers, and much, much more. As Oz already also touched on, there is a 2022 Kids Summer Reading Challenge. And so this is running until August 31st, and you upload 5 or more books and written summaries, and the champion readers are qualified to attend an awards ceremony in October happening at the Niagara Convention Center. So you can register for this at buffalony.gov/reading rules or scan the QR code that is showing on screen. Additionally, this flyer is also located on our city website. Game Changers is happening Saturdays from 10 to 1 with various dates in July and August. There are only 100 slots available. So this is basketball drills, skills, and mentoring for boys and girls ages 8 to 18. And you can register for this at buffalopal.com as well. Just some few recycling reminders. There are different waste drop-off locations for electronic waste, refuse disposal, and yard waste with various times for all of the disposals happening, and no material other than what is listed is accepted at these locations. And this flyer will be getting sent out to everyone who is registered on the block chat list as well. If you are looking to start a block club, you can reach out to the City of Buffalo and Erie County Board of Block Clubs. They have an email, phone number, Facebook, and Instagram. They respond on all platforms to assist in the creation or maintenance of block clubs and block club events. Events happening this month. So the story of a girl dad. This is happening at the Frank E. Merriweather Junior Library, August 19th. The event is from 3 to 5:30 and just talks about the story of a father and daughter in the community. There's also Healing by the Water every Thursday and Sunday, July 7th through September 29th. Both of these are sponsored by Broderick Park Summer Support, and it just aims to bring the community together in the spirit of healing, to make peace with the past, find joy in the present, and promote community inclusivity. There's Walk to Healing on Saturday, August 20th from 12 to 3. So it is a walk and then an event within the park. There'll be vendors, food, music, kids, activities, and healing. And for this, you can visit healinghubny.org for more information. The Community Music School is offering various lessons and group classes this summer with specialty camps for kids as well. And for more information on these camps, you can call the number listed on the screen or visit communitymusicbuffalo.org, as well as they do have music therapists on site to help those who have been affected by the tragedy on Jefferson. Calling all vendors. They're taking it to the streets happening in this August. They're accepting applications to join from vendors. So you can contact Anita Williams, who is the president and founder, or Angelita Bellamy. And this event runs August 20th and 21st. And as always, just a last reminder that COVID is still present in the community, so you can still receive information on COVID testing and vaccinations by visiting COVID-19 at buffalony.gov, which is our city website, and it will give you information about COVID-19 testing sites, as well as whether the site requires prescription or appointments for testing, etc. And if you do need emotional support during this time, you can contact the Emotional Support Helpline, New York Project Hope, sponsored by the Buffalo Urban League, and they'll provide information, educational, emotional support, and linkage. And this can happen Monday through Saturday, 8 to 7 p.m., or you can email projecthope@buffalourbanleague.org, and it is free, anonymous, and confidential. If you do not follow us on social media, please do so. We have a great presence on Facebook at Buffalo Citizen Services, and on our 311 page at Buffalo 311, as well as we do have an Instagram at Buffalo 311. And if you do not follow the mayor, please follow the mayor on Facebook and Instagram at Mayor Byron Brown and Mayor Byron Brown 716. And at this time, I'm going to introduce my colleague, the Save Our Streets coordinator, Mr. Michael Smith.
Thank you, Nicole. The Clean Sweep season is still underway. We've just completed our first 15 Clean Sweeps of the season. Special shout out to all our amazing community partners, our city departments, our amazing volunteers, including the Good Neighbor Network, Yale Academy, My Brother's Keepers. I can't speak enough about how amazing it's been and how much of an honor it's been to coordinate this initiative over these past 2 years. And as we enter into this next half of the season, we're going to do another group meeting where we're going to have our partners together along with our city department so we can discuss the Clean Sweep initiative as a whole. On the 27th, this past Wednesday, we were in the University District where we took care of 217 residential properties. There were a few highlights. I wanted to mention some quotes from some community members that I was able to speak with. Miss Burnett Gale wanted to express her gratitude to, of course, our amazing team. She said that she's very grateful to have us all out there looking out for the community and to thank us for our assistance. Miss Betty Dewar also said it's refreshing to see what we're all doing in the communities and for us to keep it up. As we go into this next week, we're going to be heading into the South District, where we're going to take care of about 220 properties. So we're on the, a larger clean sweep. We want to make sure that we're getting into all 9 councilmatic districts. Special shout out again to our public works teams who have, since the beginning of the season, removed an incredible 75 tons of debris out of the communities. And of course, special thanks to our Buffalo Police for always looking out for us, and Buffalo Fire for joining us as well. And with that, I'll pass it to Director Mestre to introduce our great speakers today.
Michael, thank you very much. Clean Sweep Initiative is a great initiative. It's a partnership that we do hand in hand with many different organizations. Before I talk about our speaker, I want to give Debbie Lombardo, who is the president of the Board of Block Clubs, a big shout out. They had a speak out, or they had their monthly meeting yesterday, and she's going to talk about it, but I was just so impressed. Everyone brought out their lawn chairs. You had quite a few speakers, and what great attendance. And so listen, if you're not a block club, if you want to be a block club, or you just want to just come out and hang out, get with Debbie. She's going to put her information, in on the chat, or my staff will do that. And she has her team that's on here, her board, Ellen and Dr. Portasia and all types of folks who are involved in this too. So I just wanted to shout out Debbie and the Board of Block Clubs. When we talk about a partnership with the Division of Citizen Services, our division naturally by right touches all of the departments in a unique way. Not only do we work with them with our 311 complaints, but our commodity is citizens. And so we have a direct connection with various departments. None other like the Department of Public Works, which has a multitude of different types of divisions within there, but they do many types of engagements, whether you're talking about road work or trees or parks or all types of different things in terms of the infrastructure of a city. And so my good friend, somebody who's worked with the city for a while, has the great task of managing that. He has great department heads as well, but thought it not no robbery, because even during the summertime, which is a peak time in terms of what we do into the streetscapes or what we do in the cities in terms of the work, I wanted to give him an opportunity, or he wanted to have an opportunity to come and speak with the community. So let me introduce again Commissioner Mike Finn.
Thanks, Oz, and good afternoon, everyone. Really glad to be back on the virtual block club meeting. I think it's been a little while. I was asked today to talk about the Slow Streets program specifically, but I did want to give a few general announcements about information, things that are going on in Public Works before I jump into that, because a lot of it is pertinent. First, I was really happy to see that you have the information on Jefferson Avenue and the outreach that we're doing there. I really appreciate everyone from Citizen Services and all of the block club leaders sharing that information so that we can really maximize the public input that we do on our major projects. Jefferson Avenue is due for a major streetscape rehabilitation. It's been funded, so we're just getting into the design to hear from the community about what everyone wants, and that's so important for a good design. Another update that I wanted to give: we're doing tons of work all over the city right now. Street resurfacing is a big thing that's going on. Any questions? If you want to see the list of work that we have for this year, go to buffalony.gov/street resurfacing. The list for 2022 is there, and we're already working on starting to put together the 2023 list, because we're seeing a lot of money, more than we've ever seen, coming for that, and we're hearing a lot of people are interested in that. So even if you're not seeing yourself on the list for 2022, we're putting together 2023s, and part of what we use to put our list together is 311 requests. So don't hesitate to give input that way. The fall bulk trash schedule will be starting soon, and you should have seen the fall bulk trash schedule that was submitted in the user fee bills. If you have any questions, that's another thing, contact 311 to find out when your bulk trash is, or that's on the city's website. With that, I'll jump into the Slow Streets. Slow Streets is a program that we developed out of requests from the community. Many of them came from organized block clubs, people concerned with speeding on residential streets. And for years, the answer was, well, we can't do speed humps, we can't do speed bumps, we can't plow them, there's other concerns. But we worked and found a way. The designs across the country have evolved. The design that we're using is plowable. We already saw probably 100 speed humps live through last winter, which was a very difficult one. And I can report with all the challenges we had with snow removal last year, I didn't hear one plow driver, supervisor bring a concern about the speed humps. The way they're designed, the plows ride right up and over them and continue on their work. So they've been effective at slowing people down and doing the job that they've been asked to do. And we're able to maintain them, and they're sustainable. Anyone who was in round one, and for those again who don't know, we've broken the speed hump program up into rounds where we're asking for applications from citizens who are expressing interest in wanting speed humps in their community. And all the applications we've broken down into rounds just so we can have a start and stopping point for each kind of funding cycle. Everyone who was in the very first round, we've done the public input there. Vast majority of the people in round one were very interested, and we've already started installation. The contractor who's going to be continuing installation will be back on Monday and starting to work throughout the city. We are delivering flyers out to the blocks where the work is going to go on a 2-week notice. So, you know, if you're wondering if you're in that round one, look out for those flyers to be delivered. That'll give you a sense for when the speed humps are coming. The consultant who's working with us is also putting down pink paint marks in the street to say where the speed humps are going, actually out in the field, so you can see kind of the layout before it's coming. If there's any questions from members of your block club or other residents that you're talking to about the layout, they're wondering, you know, why is it here, not there? There's also some people who are, even if, you know, the consensus of the block is we want them, there's some people who are just dead set against them. That's normal. And there's some people who just don't want them in front of their house. We have a little flexibility, you know, that we can move them one way or another if that's really important to someone. And we've been working to be able to do that when possible. All you got to do is contact 311 and we'll get you to the project manager. That's the background of where we are with, you know, how we got here and where we are with round one. I'm going to turn this over to my colleague, Taylor Brown, who's taken over as the project manager for the Slow Streets program. And Taylor's going to talk about where we are with round two, the applications for round three, which are actually due on August 1st. And then we'll just be jumping right into round four on August 2nd. So I'm going to turn this over to Taylor Brown to get into her part of the presentation.
Mike, as you're turning this over real quick, and maybe she, you said Taylor being the she or he?
Yes, Taylor, and Taylor is a she.
Yep. Hi.
Okay. Talking about just the application itself, you know, some people, when you hear the word application, is it a 20-page thing? Is it a 5-page? Is it you know, what information? And maybe you can talk a little bit about that. I do know many block clubs and individuals have filled it out, but they hear that word application and I'm like, oh, wait a second, right? You know.
Yeah, and over the course of the Slow Streets process, we have even simplified it. So I'll let Taylor get into where it's at right now, because I think when we started this, it was probably 3 or 4 pages, and is it down to 2, Taylor?
Yeah, just one really.
Oh, good.
So Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen, if that's all right. Let's see. Okay, so this is our Slow Streets program webpage. So as Mike mentioned, for round 3, applications are actually due August 1st. So if you have not submitted an application yet for your block, then this is how you can submit it. So the application is really simple. You just put your name, your email, and your contact phone number. And if you have a block club you're associated with, you can put that there. If there's like a general name that your neighborhood has, you can put it there. And then we just ask for like a sketch of the streets that you're interested in, or you can even write in this block like the issues that you see on the street. Or you can just say, I want Shoshone Street between Hurdle and Tacoma or something. So you can just do a written description as well. The back just tells you how to submit your application, what the next steps are going to be, and if you have questions. I'm the one that checks the slow streets at buffalony.gov email, so if you send an email there, I will reply to you. Some people have questions about if their street has already applied for the program or not, so that's why we have this map on the website. The streets that are in blue,
Taylor, I
Oh,
think
sorry.
the share screen's not working. I'm seeing some comments that I can't see. Oh, there we go.
Oh, shoot, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It's
No
working.
problem.
Let me
There
go
it
back.
is.
Let me go back to the application. So sorry. So this is what I was talking about. So point person, name, email, phone number, neighborhood zone, neighborhood zone boundaries. That's what I was talking about with like sharing the map. So sorry. So yeah, now we'll go back to the main web page. So people that are asking if your street hasn't applied yet, we have this map. So if your street is in blue, then that means somebody already applied for it in round 1. And as we discussed, we are slowly working to install the speed humps in round 1 zones. And then for round 2, those are all in orange. For those, we're hoping to do public outreach soon. So what that involves is sending a postcard to every house on the street in the zone so that whoever lives there can vote if they're in favor of speed humps or not. And we do that just to make sure that there's a majority consensus in favor of speed humps before we install them. And then for zones where there's like a mixed feedback, you know, like we go back and do some more due diligence to see if it's appropriate to install them on the street or not, or if, you know, there's some other solution we can come to. We have not updated the map yet for people that have already applied for round 3, but if you don't see your street for round 1 or round 2, feel free to submit an application. Again, it's due August 1st, so make sure to do that. But yeah, there's a search function here. So I saw somebody in the chat was asking about Riley Street, right off of Jefferson, and we haven't received an application for this street yet because it's not in blue or orange. Is there any other comments in the chat that I can answer? Any other people have questions?
Can you let me know if the Bert Herkimer, we were in the original first round.
Okay, let me look up Herkimer.
Well, it would probably be Bert Herkimer. It was a whole mapped out area that we sent in with our application.
Is it this area?
It would be Bert Herkimer, probably Gardner. So it would be Bird from Grant all the way down. I think we went down to like west.
Yeah.
And then
So you can see that if you can see the screen, it's all in blue. So it's part of round 1. So it is slated for construction this year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Linda on Ashland Avenue. I have a question too. You said that so the block gets surveyed first and you'll get feedback from all the homeowners. Is that how that's going to work? So I know there's some people on my block who don't really want them, but the majority do. So could you explain that process again?
Yeah, so the postcard is sent to the house in general. So we can't confirm if, you know, the person that fills it out for a certain address is like a renter or a homeowner, but we know that they receive the postcard directly to like their mailbox. So they must live there or own it. But yeah, we look for like a certain majority. And yeah, it goes to like every house on the block just so that we can make sure it is like the majority of people that want it.
Okay, well, the guy who doesn't want to calls himself the local curmudgeon, so take it for what it's worth. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause he's only one person, you know, like.
Wait a
'cause we
second.
don't
What is that word again?
Curmudgeon.
Okay, Linda, I love you.
And I'll add a little bit just from our experience with the round one. I don't think there's any part of the city where 100% of everyone who was surveyed was in favor.
Yeah,
You know, but what we're really looking for is a kind of a greater than a majority in favor of this. And you know, probably 80% of the areas that we surveyed, the majority of the people were all in favor, and everything's moving forward. There were a couple areas where we're continuing to talk with them about, you know, do you want some education, you need to learn more, or are there other options for your area? But it's really a check just to make sure that we're applying the right solution to the problem, and not putting investment into areas where maybe there is one person who's really in favor, but everybody else is not on board. We found a few of those. So that's really what this is about, making sure that we're getting the investment into the right areas that are really wanting it.
okay.
Another question, does it include not only the speed humps, but does it also, when the project for the speed humps are coming into the neighborhood, is that also going to mark the crosswalks? Like the crosswalk areas in the intersections? Is that also getting addressed at the same time?
Yes, striping is part of the design as well.
Okay, not just for the humps, but for the whole street and,
Yes,
okay,
for
'cause that's what's
crosswalks.
really needed. Okay, thank you.
Mike, I just wanted to add what you're saying, because we've experienced this too, where we like to get the majority and more than the majority. What we won't do is get in the middle of, you know, community members and we try to facilitate the education, not for you to make up your mind one way or another. We'll go back and we'll say, hey, you work it out. If there's a block club, we'll work with the block clubs to help facilitate that, because there are a lot of times where I know Mike's crew has been pulled in the middle of something, and we're like, you know, again, this is a significant investment, not just of resources, but of time as well too. For the most part, many people have understood that has been more of the exception than reality.
Hi, I'm Elma O'Connell Brown. I'm at Barry Ashland Brackenridge, and we've submitted twice for 2021 and 2022. If we're not in the round right now for the speed humps, what we especially would like is the crosswalk striping. We've done numerous 311s for that. We had it a couple of years ago. It's disappeared. It makes a huge difference. Could you let us know if that could go ahead of the speed humps, if we're scheduled?
So right now we have a contractor lined up for the speed hump installation. For the striping, that's a different contractor. So that's not something that like we can do first. First, it's the speed humps, and then striping is going to come. But what is the block of Ashland that applied? Is it this one that I'm showing right here?
It's Ferry, Ashland, Brackenridge, and it's specifically for West Ferry from Richmond to, I think we did Elmwood, Delaware.
Sorry, let me look
I have
for
to
it.
look at my application.
I'm sure that we have it. I'm sure that it's been processed, but I'm just seeing if it's on the map. West Ferry. Here we go. So yeah, it's West Ferry, Norwood, Ashland. Yes. So for West Ferry in particular, so this is what we have to look for when you're applying. West Ferry wouldn't be considered like a residential street because of the high traffic volumes for it. So that's a street in that case where we might just do striping instead of speed humps. But, you know, like we have to make sure and check that, as we were saying, that it's an appropriate application of speed humps or not. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this is part of round 2 for Norwood, Ashland, West Ferry.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And can you speak to uh, or persons that would not be eligible for a hump or not? Can you speak a little bit to that? What makes it either high volume or street where there's high traffic or there are buses or something like that? I know you mentioned it a little bit, but can you speak a little more about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're totally fine with you. Like, if you're not sure if it's eligible, just submit for it anyway, because we go through an engineering, process to make sure if it's eligible or not. But we basically look for traffic volumes. We look for if there's a truck route designated on there, things like that. But if you're not sure if it's going to be eligible, just submit for it anyway, and we're going to go through the process for every street that we receive an application for. Is there any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
It doesn't deal with speed bumps right now. I'm Charles Thompson, president of Castle Place Block Club, and we do have speeders, but not as often. What the problem is, they run through our stop sign. But what I'm concerned about is a street, and I talked to Mike about a month ago, or maybe 2, whenever we had met at the food market on Hurdle, and I was talking about the streets. In the main street that has a concern, and I think Mike still has those notes on it, that at School 61, Arthur Eve at 61. Now, the traffic there, all I can say is the street is really messed up. And you got bumps and everything else. I'm talking about Kensington and Grider. And you have a stoplight that only show one direction when all the traffic is going straight down towards Main Street. And I'm wondering when they're going to fix that area, because to me, during school section too, you got kids coming out, but it's just like a bump in the street. It is not smoothed out whatsoever. That one right now, I don't know if you have that on your record or not, but that needs to be straightened out. So we talked about the one down on Main and Kensington. I see they're doing construction on that, but the streets at Kensington and Grider need to be repaired and put stripes on that and the stoplight.
Yep, we have that on our list. Charles, you did mention it. I'm glad you mentioned what's going on at Main, Humboldt, and Kensington. Anyone who's driven through there can see a nice new smooth paved surface. The contractor is going to be putting up a new traffic signals for a new traffic configuration that will make that intersection much safer and more efficient than it's ever been. But getting back to your specific request about the concern with Kensington and Grider, that's also on our list, and we'll get that taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
And hey, Mike, can you speak a little bit about how that came about on Humboldt in that area? I know you and I attended a community meeting, and safety concerns I brought up, and so that kind of generated that type of activity. I think that's going to be really good for that neighborhood.
Yeah, that was I mean, anyone who's driven through that knows that that's tricky. I mean, I've lived in that area for a number and driven through that for a good chunk of my life, and that was a struggle. But what really kicked it off was a couple of things. There's some residents in the Trinidad area, and also residents of I think it's the LBJ apartments.
Yes.
Walk through there, expressing concerns for their safety walking through. So when we kind of put all those things together, drivers are struggling, pedestrians are struggling. We got some funding that was specific to improving safety issues, and now you're seeing the execution of that. And a good thing, I think, to add to that globally across the city is with the federal infrastructure bill that President Biden and Congress passed, there's even more money to fix items like that. And we're looking at a number of locations across the city where we can fix, long time safety concerns. Because our city, let's be honest, for all the great things that we have and our historic value in our city, it was designed and laid out before cars were even really thought of. And some of the stuff we're dealing with, I feel like was a square peg in a round hole when they designed the streets. So anytime we can do some improvements for all of the road users, and that's another thing that's important to us. It's not just about cars. 30% of the residents in the city don't have access to a car. So we want to make sure that everyone's safe as they're traveling wherever they need to go.
Yeah, Mike, I know, and there's even an equity issue too. The residents in LBJ who are living there, the only source of immediate food access, which was a store, they had to cross that busy street. They had to cross another busy street, go across the bridge, and the lights weren't working, and there was no timing. I live right around there, so you actually took my little shortcut away. So I'm gonna have to kind of stay in line just like everybody else now. But it really spoke to that how fixing something like that now, residents can actually have access to go in safety and go to the store. They would literally have to go in the train station on one, come all the way out, come back out, and come out to the top. So where you see challenges like that, we want folks in the community to let us know so that we can look to see and apply these types of measures. So thank you for that, Mike.
Yeah, that's a great project. I'm going to be excited to see when it's completely done.
We just got to remind folks from Homestead to trim the little areas on the island. I mean, on the sides right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll stay on.
Yeah, I saw that. It's nice.
Any other questions for Taylor or any
Yes.
other? Please.
Yes, I have a question. I agree with the Kensington and Grider situation. It is really bumpy and it's dangerous when you're trying to make a left-hand turn from Grider onto Kensington. It is so
Mhm.
bumpy you have to really slow down. But I also have another concern about Kensington and Fillmore. I noticed that someone in the group mentioned it a few months ago
Mhm.
about the striping on the street.
Mhm.
It is very dangerous because they're trying to make 4 lanes out of that corner there.
Mhm.
There's one goes to turn, and then there's 2 to go down Kensington. That road on the other side of Kensington, it gets smaller. The road narrows down. And
Mhm.
I think what would be a good idea is to have the right lane turn right, one lane goes straight across, and the third lane turn left. Because there's in the wintertime when the streets are even more narrow, 2 cars cannot try to go straight across the street
Right.
because it's at an angle. If someone could take care of that, it's getting more dangerous every year. I travel that road quite a bit. And
I agree.
it's if someone could take a look at that and change it. They have signs up above where the
Mm.
lights are at, but they probably would have to take one of those straight across signs down. But it is very dangerous.
Yeah, I had talked to Mike about that the last time we was at on Hurdle, and I was just waiting to get to it, but he has that note on all that.
Is that something that could be done before? And I appreciate someone else agreeing with that situation there. Do you think that might be done before winter? Because like I said, when the snow comes down, that road is more narrow and people are sliding, trying to get across that street.
Right.
And I also
Bus
appreciate
stop there too.
go ahead.
It's a bus stop there too. So if both of them
Let-
trying
let-
to merge into it, going that way, it's a bus
Let's
stop.
hear
So
from
they
my.
might slide in.
Yeah, let's hear from the commissioner.
Yeah, so I am almost positive. I'm trying to find it, but I'm not seeing it right away. but I believe that we have the restriping in design. I'm not positive exactly where it's at right now, but I'll follow up with the team in engineering and get a timeline for that back to this group.
Thank you very much.
I second it.
Thank you,
Hi, this
Mrs.
is
Thompson.
Angie
Thank you.
Davis Leverett. I'm sorry if I'm talking over
No,
someone.
go ahead, please.
All right, from the Norfolk Avenue Block Club. And I just want to share that I've been in touch with Mr. Finn's office, and I thank you for the work you've done for us thus far. And I have submitted the request for the street striping, the crosswalks on the corner of Norfolk and East Delavan, and we received the response that it will basically, when funding is available, it will be done. And then I know that we're in round 2 for the application process. And I couldn't hear a lot because there was static in the system here. So my question is status, people who's in the application process. Step 2, where are we now? Are we in expectations of receiving the notes in the mail? And 2, when do we have the expectation that the crosswalks will be completed on the corner of Norfolk Avenue and East Delavan?
I can speak for updates on round 2. I just put it in the chat.
Oh,
'Cause I
great.
saw the comment that you couldn't hear me. But we're trying to do public outreach for round 2 this summer or soon after that. So you'll receive a mailer for every house in the zone that'll have a QR code to a survey. And for people that aren't able to scan a QR code, they can call our phone number to take the survey over the phone.
Wonderful. And then the status of the striping.
Mike, do you have an update?
Yeah, the striping would go with the implementation of the speed humps, assuming that there is consensus in the community. And for round 2, the goal right now is to start the construction towards the end of this year. Anything we don't get done this year would go on to next year's workload.
Wonderful. And then one more question, and I think this is your department. I am unsure. When we restarted our block club back in August of 2021, one of the issues that we had passed along to our district councilman office is that we needed extra dead end signs because our street is a dead end and there's excessive turnaround traffic on the street. And we since submitted the 311 request, but I know we're running late on time and Debbie has to make her speech. So I just wanted to know. I'm sorry. When can we expect an answer for those dead end signs, or maybe not a turnaround street or something of those sorts on our street?
I will follow up with the engineering division and ask them to get you a response.
I appreciate
we got
that.
your
Thank you.
contact.
I'm sorry.
I said I know we have your contact.
Yes, you
I know where to
do.
find you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
No, that's it. That's why Commissioner Finn is one of my favorite commissioners. You put him on it, and he's on it right there. And I do appreciate Mike for you just coming on and being responsive always to residents in the community. He is an engineer by trade, and we do appreciate him in terms of just community focus and the work that he's doing. So, Mike, thank you. Thank you to your staff. We do appreciate you. Any last comments you wanted to make?
I just wanted to say thank you to you and to the whole Citizen Services staff for having me, and everyone with Board of Block Clubs. And thank you to Taylor for all the great work she does and for great info.
Okay, no.
Mute.
I could
You might have
announce
muted
real
yourself.
quick. We did have a. Oops. Hey, Debbie. I just want to bring you on real quick. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Hey, I just wanted to say we did a SEPTEP training just recently, and we're open to do more SEPTEP trainings. We're going to put out some more flyers with some dates. You know, Ron Dixon in our office, who's our community crime prevention coordinator, and has worked with block clubs in you know, within the city of Buffalo. So we just did one this week. Excited about it. Debbie, man, a lot of great things are happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take us home, please.
Okay, I'm gonna take us home because it's 12:54, so you know how we are on time. Last night was a great meeting. I have to say thank you to all the Block clubs that attended. It was wonderful to hear all the different things that are happening. Division of Citizen Services, of course, Captain Tommy Champion and CPO Mitchell were there. And I have to say that by far, I really enjoyed last night's meeting. We were outside. It was beautiful. It wasn't too hot. It was cool. But just the information given by all the Block clubs was really phenomenal. And everybody had a chance to meet each other and talk and share ideas. We had a guest from Niagara Falls there last night who totally was so into our Block clubs that she stayed way late and talked to everybody. And and actually reached out again this morning. So, you know, great things are happening with the Board of Block clubs. And I have to thank my wonderful team. I see Dr. Cortasia Solomon, Ellen Harris Harvey, and Linda Gelman is part of our team. And we're doing great things. Please watch for all of our social media. Next month's meeting will be at Trinidad Park. It's going to be sort of informational. We're going to have a bunch of different people there with some great information for us. And we'll talk more about our meeting in September, which is at Delavan Grider, and that is going to be actually more along the lines of active shooter training. So we are really going above and beyond in providing training and all kinds of wonderful things for our Block clubs. Please remember it's National Night Out. It's for everybody, not just Block clubs. Like I said, put your lights on, talk to your neighbors, really have some fun with it if you can. Even if you're not a Block club and you're not doing anything, just go right ahead, put those lights on, have fun, and just enjoy each other's company and get to know each other. Mike, thank you as always. Great information, and Board of Block clubs does appreciate all that you do for us because you really do stay on top of things. And I know a lot of us come to you with a lot of issues. Division of Citizen Services, thank you as always for the wonderful things that you're providing for National Night Out. You know, when they come out to visit you on Tuesday, please, you know, let them know how much we appreciate them because they really went above and beyond this year to provide us with some great kits. On behalf of myself, I can't say thank you enough to each and every one of you for all that you do in the community. And please note that we are going to be doing some wonderful things. And I already started on 2023's work for our meetings. So you can tell I'm really ready to rock and roll some more. So if there's anything you need, Dr. Cortasia Solomon put our information in the chat. She is our public relations director. So I am going to say with that, it's 12:57 p.m. I'm going to give you back 3 minutes of your time. It is Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll talk to everybody really soon.
Hey guys, thank you very much. Hey Mike, I got to give you a call. I had an emergency, so I'm going to call you right after this. Mike, are you still on?
You got it, Oz.
It's regarding Cherry Street. I guess today they're doing, and it's appropriate to say this, Kat Massey was a Cherry Block Club president. She's one of the individuals who, or the victim of the racially motivated shooting. They are unveiling a naming of a street. So I don't know if that's something you can help with, Mike, or not.
Yeah, give me a call. We'll figure it out.
Okay, I will. Okay, all right, thanks. Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Buffalo Garden Walk, come by my house this weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. Got a lot of fun things to look at. Love to see you. 122 Ashland
Good.
Avenue.
Are you gonna feed us?
Give you water.
You're driving too much.
I have grapes. I have something for you, Oz. Come on over. Love to see everybody. Thank you.
All right. Have a good Friday.
Yeah, enjoy. Peace, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for everybody for what you do.
Oz, you're muted.
So can you come back? Because you got 150 people. That's what I had done. So when you said 1 o'clock yesterday and I seen your list, I said, I don't know. you know, we're just still in the process.
Okay,
And all of a sudden just came, just the room full.
Michael, close the meeting room.
Try to make sure yours is
Say what?
the ones that are sitting.
Close the meeting room.
Yeah, yours.
Okay.